He is giving a speech from the Pathways Presentation Mastery Program. He's currently at level 3, and his objective tonight is to deliver an inspiring speech. And as you can see, he's an Advanced Communicator Gold, Advanced Leader Bronze, and he's just like a slip away from being a Distinguished Toastmaster. So the title of his speech is, How Did I Get Here? How Did I Get Here? Renato Amarena.
Fellow Toastmasters and our guests, how did I get here? Sometimes I wonder. 2 weeks ago, I gave a speech about getting fit and going to the gym, but I made a suggestion about doing something that you really love to do. What I really love to do is bike ride. Now, I can tell you, I love riding this thing. This bike is a lot of fun for a few reasons. First, it rides like a Lexus. Second, it shifts like a BMW. But what makes it a lot of fun is the weight. This bike weighs 17 pounds. It's all carbon. The stuff they make tennis rackets out of. Now, I didn't plan on getting a bicycle like this. I really didn't. So I want to share with you my story, and I hope it inspires you to think about bike riding. It happened before I got married. I was dating this woman, and her dream was to go to Ireland. And she asked me to go. So I said yes. Now, we thought, what was a great way to see the country? And we decided a bike tour. And I tell you, I loved it. I mean, I had so much fun. I rode every day, and I took to it like a fish takes to water. In fact, when I came back, I made up my mind I was going to buy a bicycle. Now, I hadn't been on a bicycle prior to that for about 20 years. And I bought myself a nice bicycle. It was another Trek bicycle. It wasn't as nice as this one, but it was a nice bicycle. And the transition happened gradually. When I first got the bike, I just rode it around my neighborhood. But after a while, that got easy and a little boring. So I decided to venture outside my neighborhood, and I started to ride. And I did maybe 10 miles. And after that, that got easy and a little bit boring. So I went a little further. I started riding 12 to 14 miles, then 16 to 18. And by the time I got to 18, I was like, oh, I've got to do 20 miles. I'm so close. And I started doing 20-mile rides. But the transition, again, was very gradual. Then when I moved to Pennsylvania, one of my neighbors said, hey, Renato, Trek is doing this special thing. They've got a truckload of bicycles. You could ride any bicycle you want for free. So I went. And I rode, I kid you not, a $4,000 version of this bike. And once I parked my butt on it and took off, I didn't want to come back. I started riding and riding and riding. It got to be a half hour, and I said, oh man, I know I've got to turn around and go back, but I didn't want to. I knew I had to. I finally rode back to the, where the event was. And so they asked me, well, how'd you like it? I'm like, what's not to like? This thing's a sweet ride. But I'm not paying $4,000 for a bicycle. You guys are nuts. I am not showing up for that. So I got friendly with one of the bike shop owners there, and she said, if you like that bike, I have a similar bike. It's last year's model, but it's brand new, and it's 58 centimeters. Now, folks, I'm 6'1". This bike is 58 centimeters. It was my size. She says, you're welcome to come to the shop and ride it. So I did that. I showed up. She goes, oh, there it is. Take it out for a spin. See what you think. So I rode it, and it was sweet. I tell you, it really was nice. And it wasn't quite as nice as that $4,000 bike, but the difference was minuscule. So now this bike was $3,000. And I did not want to spend $3,000. And I knew that this was a leftover from the previous year, so I had bargaining power, and I like to negotiate. So I went back and forth with her, and I got her down to $2,600, and I decided to buy it. Now, folks, I have, believe it or not, over 5,000 miles on this bicycle. I'm on my third set of tires. I still can't believe I have the original chain on this bike. I'm waiting to having to replace that. But I can tell you, every single mile I thoroughly enjoyed. In fact, when I came down here to Florida, I dropped 6 pounds riding this thing. And I wasn't even trying. So my speech, going back 2 weeks ago, I tried to inspire you to go to the gym and exercise, but I get it. Some people don't like going to the gym. This is fun. I'm outside. I'm enjoying the sun, the fresh air. I'm getting exercise, but here's the best part of it. It doesn't feel like exercise. So what can be better than that? It's a win-win-win. So if you don't like going to the gym, you don't like exercising, you like being outside, and you want to have some fun and get exercise at the same time, well, I would highly recommend that you take up bicycle riding. So I hope this story inspired you to go out and get a bike and start riding. And maybe one day you too will ask the question, how did I get here?